Paul, which means horn. This is the yayan, which is the wine. La Yasha'Allah, which means to Israel. Paul, which is horn. Imagine in the room. So Panyapidum, which means stand, turn, and face the east. This is the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Abanawa, Shemaya, Shaya, Shemka, Yahweh, Lakata, Tabah, Ratizaka, Hayya, Aisha, Barataza, Sawa, Hayya, Ashmai, Thumino, Lacham, Kalimu, Masalakano, Kawafno, Kasalakano, Kawafino, Wala, Abayano, but I say one, a ball, Abashanu, my young, Ra, Kaya, Maka, Amalakwa, Wa'ala, Wataparat, I will love you, Amun, in the English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Prayer for the power structure in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh. Wa Yahweh Shah. Wa Mayakah. Wa Alahai. Matizabia Alawakihan. Ha Alawak. Ha Shrani. Ha Patiziani. Ha Khayali. Wa Washi. Yahweh. Wa Hashem Yahweh Shah. The Wad Amun. In the English, bless you, Yahweh. And Yahweh Shah. And Mike. And the angels. Commanding General Yohanan. The generals. The captains. The officers. The troopers. And the sisters. Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh Shah. Thank you. So be it. Prayer for the prophesied curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh, King of heaven and earth, and all things living. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shah. Listen to us now, right now. Said evils and curses, punishment and destruction to the heathen that speak against us, thy prophets, the teachers, the princes, the priests, the Israelite brothers, and the school. Said evils and curses, the punishment and destruction to the heathen, and shake loose the treasure of the rich of Israel. They refuse to give to the school. Force their riches to enter into thy sanctuary. Said evils and curses, and punishment and destruction to the Edomites, the nations, their drug dealers, court system, prison system, Planned Parenthood, all the governments of our enemies, Amalek synagogues and armies, the Roman Catholic Church, the Pope, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Ku Klux Klan, Aryan Nation, skinheads, Posse Comitatus, the gay movement, the lesbian movement, spies, workers of witchcraft, NASA space program, the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Wall Street, open up the internet, and the airwaves, the cable access channels, and the radio channels. Convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us, and bring swift destruction all the heathen that stand in the way, or try to stop us from broadcasting your word throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues. Cause them to go to and fro. Through the earth. And consume them. Let the plagues shake the house of the thief. And the murderer. Let your house shine. Michael and Gabriel. Come down to flying saucers. Punish all the heathens. They come up against us. As we speak thy word. Cause it to be known by all. That it is the angels that have done it. Cause it to be spread through the media. Throughout the whole world. Cause them to shake at thy coming. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you always. So be it. Sorry, face the front. Yeshabim, which means be seated. We right back. Rocking it out in Genesis. Still following the incredible life of Jacob and his children and his sons who became the forefathers of the 12 tribes. We're in Egypt with Joseph, and we're going to pick up where we left off last week at 46 and verse 22. We're going to do a little catching up, so don't be surprised if we do a little bit more than the usual 7 verses per set. Starting out in Genesis chapter 46 and verse 22. Allah ban Yerakal Shah Yalad La Yaikwab Kal Napash Arbaya Shah. Verse 23. Wabanya Dan Hashayum. Verse 24. Wabanya Napathalia Yakhata'at Za'ala Wagawanya Wayatazar Washalom. Verse 25. Allah Banya Balahat Ashar Nathan Labun Larakal Bathwa Wathalad Ath Allah La Yaikwab Kal Napash Shabaya. Verse 26. Kal Napash Haba'ah La Yaikwab Matazar Yama Watazaya Yarakwa Malabad Nashya Bunya Yaikwab Kal Napash Shashyam Washasha Wabunya Yawasap Ashar Yalad Wa Bamatazarium Napash Shunyam Kal Hanapash Labayath Yaikwab Haba'ah Matazariama Shabayim. Verse 28. Wa'ath Yahawada Shalach Lapanua Al Yawasap Lahawarath Lapanua Gashana Wayabaawa Arataza Gashan. Verse 29. Wayasar Yawasap Markabathwa Wayaal Lakorath Gashala Abiwa Gashana Wayara Aliwa Wayapal Al Tazwa Ariwa Wayabak Al Tazwa Ariwa Iwad. Verse 30. Wayamar Yashala Al Yawasap Amawatha Hapa'im Acharya Rawathya Ath Punyaka Kaya Iwadka Kaya. Verse 31. Wayamar Yawasap Al Akiwa Al Bayath Abiwa Ala Wagada La Parai Wa Amara Aliwa Akhir Wa Bayath Abya Ashar Barataza Kan'ain Ba'awa Alia. Verse 32. Wahanashim Ra'aya Haza'an Kaya Anasha Makuna Hayawa Mataza'anya Wabakurum Wakal Ashar Lahum Habayawa. Verse 33. Wahaya Kaya Yakurah Lakum per ayah wa Amar Ma'aishakum, verse 34, or Marathum Anasha Makwana Aywa Ibadika Man Iward Yunwa Id Itha Gum Anakhanwa Gum Abiyathinwa Ba'ibawar Dashabwa Barataza Gashun Kaya Dawaibath Matazarium Kal Ra'ayah Taza'an. Genesis chapter 47 and verse 1. Wayaba'a Yawsap Wayagad Lapara'ayah Wayamar Abya Wa'akhya Wataza'anum Wabakurum Wakal Ashar Lahum Ba'awa Ma'arataza Kana'ain Wahanum Barataza Gashun. And we're going to go to the English. Imagine up here. Station registry.
Shafwan, Bonapari, Banya Shala.
Sha'afwan, Bonapari, Banya Shala.
How about Shem Yahushai Barakatah?
Yahweh Shem Shabbatah. Shab him up here. So we got a little behind on the verses somehow, so I was catching us up a little bit. So we're gonna read from 22 in the English all the way to chapter 47 and verse 1.
46 and 22. Khan in the English. Genesis chapter 46, verse 22. These are the sons of Rachel, which were born to Jacob. All the souls were 14. Verse 13. And the sons of Dan, Hashem. Verse 24. And the sons of Naphtali, Jaziel, and Guni, and Jezer, and Shalem. Verse 25. These are the sons of Bilhah, which Laban gave unto Rachel, his daughter. And she bare these unto Jacob. All the souls were 7.
So the context, we're going through this because you're visualizing they went back now after reuniting with Joseph in Egypt, after Joseph revealing who he was, the emotional reunion. He sent them back to get his father so his father could see him, know that he was alive, and not just alive, but thriving. And when they came back, told him, he was like, at least I can see Joseph before I die. And so now they took their father, they took all their things, all their servants, everybody, and they're traveling to Egypt. And as they're traveling to Egypt, they're going through everybody that's going, and they're running down everybody's children and everything. So keep going.
Come. Verse 26. All the souls that came with Jacob into Egypt, which came out of his loins, besides Jacob's sons' wives, all the souls were 66. Verse 27. And the sons of Joseph, which were born him in Egypt, were 2 souls. All the souls of the house of Jacob, which came into Egypt, were 70. Verse 28. And he sent Judah before him unto Joseph, to direct his face unto Goshen. And they came into the land of Goshen.
We should have had a map to put some of these things into context, but y'all can look up where Goshen is. No, we're going straight through. I just read it all over here. We're going straight through to 47. Right.
Verse 29. And Joseph made ready his chariot and went up to meet Israel his father to Goshen, presented himself unto him. And he fell on his neck and wept on his neck a good while.
This is real life. I say this all the time. This is his father seeing him for the first time in how many years? Thought he was dead the whole time. Like, this is a real serious reunion. Keep going.
Verse 30. And Israel said unto Joseph, Now let me die, since I have seen thy face, because thou art yet alive.
He was old. He barely thought he was going to make it, and he was just happy that he was able to see Joseph before he died. Keep going.
Verse 31. And Joseph said unto his brethren and unto his father's house, I will go up and show Pharaoh, and say unto him, My brethren and my father's house, which are in the land of Canaan, are come unto me. Verse 32. And the men are shepherds, for their trade hath been to feed cattle. And they have brought their flocks and their herds and all that they have. Verse 33. And it shall come to pass, when Pharaoh shall call you, and shall say, What is your occupation? Verse 34. That ye shall say, Thy servant's trade hath been about cattle, from our youth even until now, both we and also our fathers, that ye may dwell in the land of Goshen. For every shepherd is an abomination unto the Egyptians.
And the Egyptians looked down on shepherds. They looked at them as, just common, poor farmers with sheep. You're a shepherd. You herd sheep. So he told them to tell everybody that they were cattlemen, because that was a higher status way of farming to the Egyptians. And so that would make it easier for them to put them up in the best part of the land. Keep going.
Genesis chapter 47, verse 1. Then Joseph came and told Pharaoh and said, My father and my brethren, and their flocks and their herds, and all that they have, are come out of the land of Canaan, and behold, they are in the land of Goshen.
Now back to the Hebrew. 47 and 2.
Genesis chapter 47, verse 2. Wamakwa taza'a ak yawa lakwak amasha anashim waya tazagam lapanya parai. Verse 3. Waya amar parai al ak yawa ma'a ma'aisha yakam waya amarwa al parai ra'aya taza'an ibad yakat gam anakan wa gam abawaf yanawa. Verse 4. Waya marwa al hara'aya lagawar ba'arataza ba'anwa kaya bayan mara'aya la taza'an ashar ba'ibadaka kaya kabat hara'ai ba'arataza kana'ain wa'aitha yashabwa na'a ibadaka ba'arataza Bashan. Verse 5.
By the way, that the word we flew by, Ra'ai, is shepherding, and that you're gonna find out that they answered and said straight up, "We shepherds." Keep going.
Waya Amar, Haraiah, Al, Yawasap, La Amar, Abayaka, Wa'akyaka, Ba'awa, Alyaka. Verse 6. Arataza, Batazarya, Lapanyaka, Hawa'a, Bama Yatab, Arataza, Hawasha, Abayaka, Wa'a, Akyaka, Yashabwa, Ba'arataza, Gashan, Wa'am, Yada'ai, Wayash, Bam, Anashya, Kayal, Washamatham, Sharya, Makwana, Ayel, Ashar, Layah. Verse 7. Wayaba'a, Yawasap, Yaikwab, Abayawa, Wayaimada, Lapanya, Haraiah, Wayabarak, Yaikwab, Haraiah. Verse 8. Waya Amar, Haraiah, Al, Yaikwab, Kama, Yamya, Shanya, Kayaka.
And back to the English. Verse 2.
Genesis chapter 47, verse 2. And he took some of his brethren, even 5 men, presented them unto Pharaoh. Verse 3. Pharaoh said unto his brethren, What is your occupation? And they said unto Pharaoh, Thy servants are shepherds, both we and also our fathers.
So they said straight up, they owned it. They said, we're not going to be ashamed of it. We're shepherds, we and our fathers. Because to us, to our culture and Israelite culture, being a shepherd is a high status because of the metaphor that goes to it. The Lord loves shepherd. The Lord loves his sheep. Keep going.
Come. Verse 4. They said moreover unto Pharaoh, For to sojourn in the land are we come, for thy servants have no pasture for their flocks, for the famine is sore in the land of Canaan. Now therefore, we pray thee, let thy servants dwell in the land of Goshen. Verse 5. And Pharaoh spake unto Joseph, saying, Thy father and thy brethren are come unto thee. Verse 6. The land of Egypt is before thee, the best of the land. Make thy father and brethren to dwell. In the land of Goshen, let them dwell.
So because of the love that he had for Joseph, the respect that he had for Joseph, Pharaoh was saying the same thing regardless. He's saying, send them to the best of the land. Read.
And if thou knowest any men of activity among them, then make them rulers over my cattle.
And so he's saying the same thing. Forget about that shepherd stuff. Put them over the cattle. Keep going.
Verse 7. And Joseph brought in Jacob his father, and set him before Pharaoh. And Jacob blessed Pharaoh. Verse 8. And Pharaoh said unto Jacob, How old art thou?
Back to the English.
Genesis chapter 47, verse 9. In the Hebrew. Waya Amar, Yaikwab, Al, Haraiah, Yamya, Shanya, Magawarya, Shalashah, Wama'ah, Shana,
Shalashim wa ma'athshana. 130 years. Keep going.
Khan. Ma'ait. Wara'aya. Hayawa. Yamya. Shanya. Kayaya.
Ma'ait or Ra'ai. Few and evil have been the days of the years of my life. That's what Jacob said. Keep going. At 130 years old, he said that. Keep going.
Khan. Ola'a. Asha Yagwa. Ah. Yamya. Shanya. Kayaya. Abathya. Vayamya. Magawar Yaham. Verse 10. Waya Barak. Yaquab. Ah. Para'aya. Waya Taza'a. Malapanya. Para'aya. Verse 11. Waya Washab. Yawasab. Ah. Abayawa. Wa'ah. Akyawa. Wayathan. Laham. Akaza. Ba'arataza. Matazaria. Ba'amayatab. Ha'arataza. Ba'arataza. Ra'aimasa. Ka'ashar.
That's Ra'am. That's Ramses in the Hebrew. Because this is a history book. This is a better history book than whatever it is that they're telling you in. Listen, we're going to leave that alone. Oh, now the path frame wants to text me back. They didn't text me back when I was waiting on the platform. Back to the Hebrew. Carry on.
On. Tazawa'a. Hara'aya. Verse 12. Wayakal kal. Yawasap. Ah. Abayawa. Wa'ah. Akyawa. Wa'ah. Kal. Bayah. Abayawa. Lakam. Lapya. Latak. Verse 13. Walakam. Ayan. Bakal. Ha'arataza. Kaya. Kabat. Ara'ai. Ma'ad. Watala. Arataza. Matazaria. Wa'arataza. Kana'ain. Mapanya. Ara'ai.
We talked about that word, Ra'ab. That's the word for famine, which is the word for hunger. There's a brother in the school, Napash Ra, hungry spirit. Keep going. So just a reminder, there's so many ways to build your vocabulary in Hebrew. Just learning brothers' names as you get to know brothers in the school, paying attention with the words that come up 20 times in the Sabbath service. If you're just paying attention, you get it. Just dial in. Keep going.
Khan. Wayalakwat. Yawasap. Ah. Kal. Hakasap. Anama Taza'a. Ba'arataza. Matazaria. Waba Arataza. Kana'ain. Bashabar. Ashar. Ham. Shabarium. Wayaba'a. Yawasap. Ah. Hakasap. Wayatha. Para'aya. Verse 15. Wayatham. Hakasap. Ma'arataza. Matazarium. Wama Arataza. Kana'ain. Waya Ba'awa. Kal. Matazarium. Al. Yawasap. La'amar. Aba'a. Lanawa. Lakam. Walama, Nama Waf, Naga Taka, Kaya, Apas, Kasa.
Back to the English.
Karawakan. Genesis chapter 47.
Kasap was money, by the way. I know y'all gonna remember that. Go ahead.
Karawakan, verse 9. And Jacob said unto Pharaoh, the days of the years of my pilgrimage are 130 years.
130 years. And he was just now ready to die now that he had seen his son Joseph alive. Read.
Karawakan. Few and evil have the days of the years of my life been.
That's poetry right there. That's poetry. At 130 years old, he's after this incredible life that he's had, but it's been rough, but it's been incredible. Few and evil have the days of the years of my life been. Read.
And have not attained unto the days of the years of the life of my fathers in the days of their pilgrimage.
So he's comparing it to his forefathers who lived longer and didn't go through some of the things he went through. Keep going.
Verse 10. And Jacob blessed Pharaoh and went out from before Pharaoh. Verse 11. And Joseph placed his father and his brethren and gave them a possession in the land of Egypt, in the best of the land, in the land of Ramses, as Pharaoh had commanded. Verse 12. And Joseph nourished his father and his brethren and all his father's household with bread, according to their families.
Remember, this was the reason that he brought them there, to make sure they're well taken care of while the famine is still going throughout all the land. Keep going.
Verse 13. And there was no bread in all the land.
None. Keep going.
For the famine was very sore, so that the land of Egypt and all the land of Canaan fainted by reason of the famine. Verse 14. And Joseph gathered up all the money that was found in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan for the corn which they bought. And Joseph brought the money into Pharaoh's house. Verse 15. And when money failed in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan, all the Egyptians came unto Joseph and said, give us bread, for why should we die in thy presence? For the money faileth.
So you can imagine this. For years now, they have to come to Joseph's storehouses to buy food, because Joseph stored up all the food for all those years before the famine. And so now that nothing was growing, they all had to come to Joseph and buy food. And now when they finally ran out of money, now they borderline ready to riot. They're coming back to Joseph. They say, we ain't got no money, but we still hungry. And what, we just gonna die here because we don't have any money? So you can imagine what that actually looked like in real time. Keep going. Or back to the Hebrew, verse 16.
Hebrew and English.
The Hebrew.
Genesis chapter 47, verse 16. Waya Amar, Yawasap, Habwa, Makwan Yakam, Wa'athana, Wakam, Bamakwan Yakam, Apas, Kasap. Verse 17. Wayab Ya'awa, Makwan Yaham, Al, Yawasap, Wayatham, Laham, Yawasap, Lakam, Basawas Yam, Waba Makwana, Ha Tazaan, Waba Makwana, Haba Kwar, Waba Kamar Yam, Waya Nahalam, Balakam, Bakal, Makwanaham, Bashana, Ha Hawa'a, Verse 18. Wa thathatham Hashana Ahawa'a Waya Ba'awa Al Yawa Bashana Hashanaya Waya Amarwa Lawa La'a Na Kakat Ma'adanya Kaya Tham Hakasa Wamakwana Abahaba Al Danya La'a Basha'ar Apanya Adanya Walathya Gawayathanwa Wa Adamathanwa. Verse 19. Lama'a.
That last one would have really been why I must, because that's our lands.
Verse 19. Lama'a. Namawath. La'ai yan yaka. Gam. Anak kanwa. Gam. Adamathanwa. Pana'a. Athanwa. Wa'ath. Adamathanwa. Balakam. Lanahaya. Anakanwa. Wa Adamathanwa. Ibadyam. La Para'aya. Wathan. Sarai. Wana Kaya. Wala'a. Namawath. Wa Ha'adama. La'a. Tasham. Verse 20. Wayakwan. Yawasa. Ath. Kal. Adamath. La Tazaria. La Para'aya. Kaya. Makararwa. Matazariam. Ayash. Shadahawa. Kaya. Kazak. Laham. Hara'ai. Wathahaya. Ha'arataza. La Para'aya. Verse 21. Wa'ath. Ha'ain. Ha'aib yar. Athwa. La'aryam. Makwa taza'a. Gaba wal. Matazarium. Wa'aid. Kwa taza wa. Verse 22. Rock. Aramath. Akahanya. La'a. Pana'a. Kaya. Chak. Lakahanya. Ma'ath. Para'aya. Wa'akalwa. Ath. Kakwam. Ashar. Lathan. Laham. Para'aya. Ayal. Kan. La'a. Lakarawa. Ath. Maramatham.
And back to the English.
Come. Genesis chapter 47, verse 16. And Joseph said, give your cattle, and I will give you for your cattle, if money fail. Verse 17.
So now Joseph said, all right, you ain't got no money, what you got? You got some cows? Bring them. You're going to pay with something. Keep going.
And they brought their cattle unto Joseph, and Joseph gave them bread in exchange for horses, and for the flocks, and for the cattle of the herds, and for the asses. And he fed them with bread for all their cattle for that year.
So now, Joseph not only got all the food, he got all the cattle. Keep going.
Verse 18. When that year was ended, they came unto him the second year, and said unto him, We will not hide it from my lord, how that our money is spent. My lord also hath our herds of cattle. There is not aught left in the sight of my lord, but our bodies and our lands.
And Joseph said, but your bodies and your what?
And our land.
Joseph is a hustler, man. Joseph is a hustler. And all he saw was a bunch of Egyptians with some land that he could take. Keep going.
Verse 19. Wherefore shall we die before thine eyes, both we and our land? Buy us and our land for bread, and we and our land will be servants unto Pharaoh, and give us seed that we may live and not die, that the land be not desolate. Verse 20. And Joseph bought all the land of Egypt for Pharaoh.
So one year, they come and they ain't got no money. Joseph says, all right, give me all your cattle. The next year, they come and they ain't got no money. Joseph said, all right, give me all your land. Now Joseph got the food, the cattle, and the land, and they're trying to sell themselves as servants. Hey, whatever works. Keep going.
And Joseph bought all the land of Egypt for Pharaoh, for the Egyptians sold every man his field, because the famine prevailed over them. So the land became Pharaoh's. Verse 21. And as for the people, he removed them to cities from one end of the borders of Egypt, even to the other end thereof.
So now they don't know what to do. They're trying to be his servants. He just said, all right, I'm going to put you where I want to put you. Keep going.
Verse 22. Only the land of the priests bought he not, for the priests had a portion assigned them of Pharaoh, and did eat their portion which Pharaoh gave them. Wherefore they sold not their lands.
All right, so he left their little priest alone. Back to the Hebrew, verse 23. Shout out to the chat. Shalom to everybody that says shalom. We love you too, brother. I think if you're a brother, sister. Go ahead.
Genesis chapter 47, verse 23. Vayamar Yawasa Al Ha'ain Han Quanyathya Athakam Hayawam Wa'ath Maramathkam La Paraya Ha'a Lakam Zarai Waza Ra'ai Thum Ah Ha'arama. Verse 24. Wahaya Wathab Wa'ath Wanatham Kam Yash Yah La Paraya Wa Arabai Hayara Yahaya Lakam La Zarai Ashada Walakal Kam Walashar Babath Yakam Walakal Bata Pakam. Verse 25. Waya Amarwa, Haka Yathanwa, Nama Taza'a, Kan, Ba'ayanya, Adanya, Wa Hayayanya, Hayanyanwa, Ibadyam, La Para'aya, Wayasham, Atha, Yawasa, Lakwak, Aid, Hayawam, Haza'a, Ayel, Aramath, La Tazarium, La Para'aya, La Kamash, Rak, Aramath, Hakahanyam, La Badam, La Hayatha, La Para'aya. Verse 27. Vayashab, Yasharala, Ba'arataza, Batazaria, Ba'arataza, Kashan, Waya Aksawa, Ba'a, Waya Parawa, Waya Rabawa, Ma'at. Verse 28. Wayakya, Yaikwa, Ba'arataza, Batazaria, Shabai, Aishara, Shana, Wayahaya, Yamya, Yaikwa, Shanya, Kayayawa, Shabai, Shanyam, Wa Arabayam, Wa Ma'ath, Shana. Verse 29. Wayakwarabwa, Yamya, Yasharala, Lamawath, Wayakora, Labanwa, La Yawasap, Wayamar, Lawa, Am, Na'a, Masaza'akyab, Kan, Ba'ayanyaka, Shayam, Na'a, Yaraka, Lakat, Yarakaya, Wa Aisha Yath, Imadya, Kasad, Wa Amath, Al, Na'a, Bakwabar, Ran Ya, Ba Ma Taza'ar Ya.
And back to the English.
Come. Genesis chapter 47, verse 23. Of this new book. Fantastic.
Gotta break it in.
Gotta break it in.
Gotta break it in.
Gotta break it in. Genesis chapter 47, verse 23. Then Joseph said unto the people, Behold, I have brought you this day and your land for Pharaoh. Lo, here is seed for you, and ye shall sow the land.
He said, all right, I bought you and your land for some food. Here's your food. Go plant these seeds and wait till it grows into something. Go ahead, read.
Okay.
Joseph was clearly having fun with this. Go ahead.
And it shall come to pass in the increase that ye shall give the fifth part unto Pharaoh, and 4 parts shall be your own, for seed of the field, and for your food, and for them of your households, and for food for your little ones. That's foul. He took a whole fifth part.
20%. 20%. Give it up. He ran their pockets.
That's right.
He said, give me your cows, your land, what you got left? Yourselves, get to work.
Verse 25. And they said, Thou hast saved our lives. Let us find grace in the sight of my Lord, and he will be Pharaoh's servants. Verse 26. And Joseph made it a law over the land of Egypt unto this day, that Pharaoh should have the fifth part, except the land of the priest only, which became not Pharaoh's.
And this is why Pharaoh liked Joseph so much. He was just a businessman, and he was making Pharaoh wealthy, which was making him wealthy. Because how did he say it? Only in name will I be above you. So everything was Joseph's. And Joseph was just running it like a ball, like he was running some heathen's pockets.
Verse 27. And Israel dwelt in the land of Egypt, the country of Goshen. They had possessions therein, and grew, and multiplied exceedingly.
And by the way, like the thing to take from this, obviously, Joseph would not be dealing this way among his own people. But he was having mercy on these heathens by giving them food at all. But he was still coming up off it.
If I may, you can't forget early in Genesis, you already know that the Lord was with Joseph. That's what, you know what I mean? That was the foundation. It wasn't with the Pharaoh, no. The Lord was with Joseph. That's what it says in it when Joseph got to Egypt. And nevertheless, the Lord is with Joseph.
That's it. That's why he was able to do all this. That's why he was able to live like the ruler of Egypt.
Verse 28. And Jacob lived in the land of Egypt 17 years. So the whole age of Jacob was 147 years.
He thought he was just going to come there and die. The Lord said, nah, even you had a rock a little bit. 147 years. Go ahead.
Verse 29. And the time drew nigh that Israel must die. And he called his son Joseph, and said unto him, If now I have found grace in thy sight, put, I pray thee, thy hand under my thigh, and deal kindly and truly with me. Bury me not, I pray thee, in Egypt.
The only thing he wanted, don't bury me in this land. And I think this is like the second time we saw this, that when the father's on his deathbed, come put your hand under his thigh and swear what you're going to do for him. I guess, that was a part of our culture. That's because we had serious respect for our fathers in our household. There's a serious respect. He's saying, put your hand on my thigh and swear to me that you're going to fulfill my last wish. Just don't bury me in Egypt. Just get me out of here. That's it. Back to the Hebrew. Being buried in slavery. Just get me out of this land. That's it.
Okay. Allah, we are now in Genesis chapter 47, verse 30 in the Hebrew.
You want to take this? Yeah, I'm not going to. Verse 30. Washakabathia, I'm Bathia, on a Sha'ath Noah, watching Athena, Matazarium, Wakabarath Noah, Bakobaratham, Wayamar, Nakia, Aisha, Kadabarka, verse 31, Wayamar, Hashabaya, Laya, Wayashabai, Lawa, Wayashathakwa, Yasha'ala, Al-Ra'ash, Hamatah, chapter 48 and verse 1, Wayahaya, Akharya, Hadabarium, Ha'ala, Wayamar, Wayosap, Hana, Abiaka, Allah, Wayakwak, Ath Shanya Banyua, Aimwa Ath Manisha, Wa Ath Aparium, verse 2, Wayagad, Layaquab, Wayamar Hana, Bunka, Yawasap, Ba'a Aliyaka, Wayathakazak, Yasha'ala, Wayashab, Al Hamatah, verse 3, Wayamar, Yaquab, Al Yawsap, Al Shadya, Nara'ah, Aliyah, Balwaz, Baratazah, Kan'ain, Wayabarak, Athia, verse 4, Wayamar, Aliyah, Hanunya, Baparka, Waharabathia, Wahar Bayathka, Wanathathika, Aquahal, Amium, Wanathathia, Atharatazah, Hazath, Azaraika, Akaryaka, Akazath, Iwalum, verse 5, Wa'aitha, Shunya, Bunyaka, Hanawaladium, Laka, Baratazah, Matazarium, Aid, Baya, Aliyaka, Matazariuma, Laya, Hum, Aparium, Wamanashah, Cover Alban, Washemaiwan, Yahiwa, Laya. And back to the English, verse 30.
Genesis chapter 47, verse 30. But I will lie with my fathers, and thou shalt carry me out of Egypt, and bury me in their burying place. And he said, I will do as thou hast said. Verse 31. And he said, swear unto me. And he sware unto him. And Israel bowed himself upon the bed's head. Verse 48. Chapter 48, verse 1. And it came to pass after these things, that one told Joseph, behold, my father is sick. And he took with him his two sons, Manasseh and Ephraim. Verse 2. And one told Jacob and said, behold, thy son Joseph cometh unto thee. And Israel strengthened himself and sat upon the bed.
So somebody sent for Joseph. They said, your father's sick. He grabbed Manasseh and Ephraim, ran there, and when they told Joseph he was on his way, he gathered up the strength that he had and set up. Now
on time. Verse 3. And Jacob said unto Joseph, God Almighty appeared unto me at Luz in the land of Canaan and blessed me.
And that's that phrase that we read in the Hebrew, Al-Shaddai. That phrase that your Christian grandmother told you is El Shaddai. That's Al-Shaddai in the Hebrew, the Almighty power. Keep going.
On time. Verse 4. And said unto me, behold, I will make thee fruitful and multiply thee, and I will make of thee a multitude of people, and will give this land to thy seed after thee for an everlasting possession.
That's heavy. Keep going.
Verse 5. And now thy two sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, which were born unto thee in the land of Egypt, before I came unto thee into Egypt, are mine. As Reuben and Simeon, they shall be mine.
This is a foreshadowing for these two children becoming tribes. Jacob said, these are mine, just like Reuben and Simeon. These Ephraim and Manasseh are my sons. And that's what we see in Revelations. We see Ephraim and Manasseh as tribes. And of course, Dan was, by this point, was absorbed into the other tribes. Dan was no longer a tribe by Revelations. Back to the Hebrew. Taken from verse 6. Wamawaladathka, Ashar, Awaladath, Acharihum, Laka, Yahiwa, Al Shum, Akihum, Yakorawa, but not gonna call of him. Verse 7. Wa Anya Babaya, Mapadan, Masa, Alia, Rakal, Baratazak, and Ayin, Badurak, Ba'aiwad, Kabarath, Baratazah, Laba'ah, Ratha, Wakabara, Shum, Badurak, Aparath, Hawa'ah, Bayath, Lahum, where Yash'ala, Athbanya, Yosap, where Amar, Maya, Allah, verse 9, where Amar, Yosap, Al Abua, when Yahum, Ashar, the Sunlaya, Alahayim, Bazah, where Amar, Thum, Aliyah, where Abarkum, verse 10, Wayunya, Yash'ala, Kabadar, Slaki Kabadwa, Mazakwan, La'ah, Yokal, Larawath, Wayagash, Thum, Aliwa, Wayashak, Lahum, Wayachabad, Lahum, verse 11, Wayamar, Yasha'ala, Aliyosap, Ra'ah, Punyaka, La'ah, Palalathia, Wahana, Para'ah, Athia, Alahayim, Gum, Ath, Zariah, verse 12, Wayamutizah, Yosap, Thum, Ba'ayim, Barakiwa, Wayashathakwa, Ba'apiwa, Artazah, and back to the Hebrew from verse 6, or back to the English from verse 6.
Genesis chapter 48, verse 6. And thy issue which thou begettest after them shall be thine, and shall be called after the name of their brethren and their inheritance. Verse 7. And as for me, when I came from Padan, Rachel died by me in the land of Canaan in the way, when yet there was but a little way to come unto Ephrath, and I buried her there in the way of Ephrath. The same is Bethlehem. Verse 8. And Israel beheld Joseph's sons and said, Who are these? Verse 9. And Joseph said unto his father, They are my sons, whom God hath given me in this place. And he said, Bring them, I pray thee, unto me, and I will bless them. Verse 10. Now the eyes of Israel were dim for age, so that he could not see. And he brought them near unto him, and he kissed them, and embraced them. Verse 11. And Israel said unto Joseph, I had not thought to see thy face, and lo, God has showed me also thy seed.
He's still amazed. All these years now, they've already been in Egypt for 17 years, did it say? And he's still amazed. He still said, I never thought that I would see you again. And now I'm seeing you and your children. Read on.
Verse 12. And Joseph brought them out from between his knees, and he bowed himself with his face to the earth.
Back to the Hebrew. Verse 13. Wayakwach, Yosap, Ath, Shenyahim, Ath, Parim, Bayamayanwa, Mashma'al, Yasha'ala, Wa'ath, Manashah, Mashma'alwa, Mayumyan, Yasha'ala, Wayagash, Aliwa, verse 14, Wayashalach, Yasha'ala, Ath, Yumyanwa, Wayashath, Al Ra'ash, Aparyum, Wa'ah, Hatazayar, Wa'ath, Shem'alwa, Al Ra'ash, Manashah, Shakal, Ath, Yadua, Kaya, Manashah, Abakawar, verse 15, Wayabarak, Ath Yosap, Wayamar, Alahayim, Ashar, Athahalakwa, Abathia, Lapunyua, Abraham, Wayatizha, Alahayim, Hariah, Afia, Ma'aiwadia, Aid Hayawam, Hazah, verse 16, Hamala'ak, Haga'al, Athia, Makal, Rai, Yabarak, Anariam, Wayaparab, Baham, Shamya, Washam, Abia, Abraham, Wayatizha, Wayadagwa, Larab, Bakurab, Harataza, verse 17, Wayara'ah, Yosap, Kaya, Yashiath, Abua, Yad, Yamyanwa, Al-Ra'ash, Aparim, Wayarai, Bayanua, Wayathamak, Yad, Abua, Lasiar, Tha, Al-Ra'ash, Aparim, Al-Ra'ash, Manashah, verse 18, Wayamar, Yosap, Al-Abua, La'akan, Abia, Kaya, Za, Abakar, Shiyam, Yamyanka, Al, Ra'ashwa, verse 19, Wayam Abua, Wayamar, Yadaithia, Banya, Yadaithia, Gum, Hawa'ah, Yaya, La'aim, Wagum, Hawa'ah, Yagadal, Wa'alam, Akua, Hakatan, Yagadal, Amunwa, was Ra'iwa, Yahaya, Bila'ah, Hagawayam, and back to English from verse 13.
Genesis chapter 48, verse 13. And Joseph took them both, Ephraim in his right hand toward Israel's left hand, Manasseh in his left hand toward Israel's right hand, and brought them near unto him. Verse 14. And Israel stretched out his right hand, and laid it upon Ephraim's head, who was the younger, and his left hand upon Manasseh's head, guiding his hands wittingly, for Manasseh was the first.
So he brought the kids like this in order, and Jacob did this. Keep going.
Verse 15. And he blessed Joseph and said, God, before whom my fathers Abraham and Isaac did walk, the Most High which fed me all my life long until this day. Verse 16. The angel which redeemed me from all evil, bless the lads. Let my name be named on them, and the name of my fathers, Abraham and Isaac. Let them grow into a multitude in the midst of the earth.
Y'all hear this? This is heaven. Just dial. I don't need to say anything on this. Just dial in and listen. This is heavy. This is our history. This is our future. This is the blessing that was given to Jacob that he passed on to his sons. Read.
Verse 17. And when Joseph saw that his father laid his right hand upon the head of Ephraim, it displeased him. And he held up his father's hand to remove it from Ephraim's head unto Manasseh's head. Verse 18.
And this is again because Manasseh was the firstborn. Keep going.
And Joseph said unto his father, Not so, my father, for this is the firstborn. Put thy right hand upon his head. Verse 19. And his father refused and said, I know it, my son. I know it.
Said, I know what I'm doing. Read on.
He also shall become a people, and he also shall be great. But truly his younger brother shall be greater than he, and his seed shall become a multitude of nations.
And everybody knows the Puerto Ricans. And on that note, we're going to leave it for next week. I mod you up here. Shapar, which means horn. Yun, which means wine.
Ayashala, which means to Israel.
Shapar, which means horn. Imagine in the room. So Funya Kadum, which means stand, turn and face the east. We're going to say the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abinau, Bashamayim, Badashaya, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakka, Ba'a, Tazaka, Ya, Isha, Baratiza, Wa, Aya, Bashamayim, Thuluna, Kam, Kaliu, Salakina, Kawasina, Kasalakina, Ba'a, Abayana, say one, Ball, Shiny, Yun, Ra, Kaya, Ka, Malakwa, Allah, Parat. I will love you, Amen.
In the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it.
Prayer for the power structure in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh. Why Yahweh Shah? Why my Alahai? Matizab Yahweh Hasrun. Hakazin. Hakayal. Yahweh. Hashem Yahweh Shah. Wada Amun.
The English. Bless you, Yahweh. And Yahweh Shah. And Michael. And the angels. Commanding General Yohanan. The generals. The captains. The officers. The troopers. And the sisters. Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh Shah. Thank you. So be it.
Pray for the prophesied curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh. King of heaven and earth. And all things living. Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh Shah. Listen to us now. Right now. Said evil and curses. Punishment and destruction. To the heathen. Speak against us. Thy prophets. Teachers. The princes. The priests. Israelite brothers. And the school. Said evils and curses. Punishment and destruction. To the heathen. Shake loose. The treasure of the rich of Israel. They refuse to get to the school. Force their riches to enter into thy sanctuary. Said evils and curses. Punishment and destruction. To the Edomites. The nations. The drug dealers. The court system. Prison system. Planned Parenthood. All the governments of our enemies. Amalek synagogues and armies. The Roman Catholic Church. The Pope. Islam. Christianity. Egyptology. Militia. Ku Klux Klan. Aryan Nation. Skinhead. Posse Comitatus. The gay movement. The lesbian movement. Spies. Working in witchcraft. NASA space program. The Army. Navy. Air Force. Marines. Wall Street. Open up the internet. And the airway. The cable access channel. And the radio channel. Convict the spirit. Any of thy people. Seek to stop us. Bring swift destruction. To all the heat. Stand in the way. Try to stop us.
try to stop
from
us,
broadcasting your word,
broadcasting your word
across the planet Earth,
throughout the planet Earth,
that loose all the plague,
that loose all the plagues,
cause them to go to and fro,
cause them to go to and
from
fro
the earth,
through the
and
earth,
consume
consume
them.
them.
Let the plague shake the house of the thief,
Let the plague shake the house of the thief,
and the murder,
and the murder.
Let your house shine.
House shine.
Michael and Gabriel,
Michael and Gabriel,
come down with the flying
go
sword,
down the flying
and
sword,
punish all the heathen,
punish all the heathen,
that come up against us.
come up
As
against
we
us.
speak thy words,
We speak thy word,
cause it to be known by all,
cause it to be known by all.
and it's the angels that have done it,
As the angels that have done
cause
it,
it to be spread through the media,
cause it to be spread through the media,
throughout the whole world,
throughout the whole world,
cause them to shake that coming,
cause it to shake of thy company.
in the name of Yahweh Shah.
In the name of Yahweh Shah.
Thank you always.
Thank you always.
So be it.
So be it.
So I face the front. We're gonna give one courtesy salute. Men of Israel, I imagine Shabbat. I imagine Barak.
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah Rekathon.
Yad Matah. And that concludes the Sabbath service. Next week, we're going to start at chapter 48 and verse 20.